In this captivating love story, a young millionaire finds his world turned upside down when he falls for a humble waitress with a mysterious past. On what should be the happiest day of their lives, their wedding, she reveals a shocking secret that changes everything. What unfolds is a journey of love, trust, and resilience as they confront dark shadows from her past and discover the true meaning of partnership. Get ready for an emotional roller coaster where love's power is tested and ultimately prevails in ways no one could have predicted. Liam Sterling was the embodiment of success, young, handsome, and one of the most promising entrepreneurs of his generation. At only 28, he had built a business empire from scratch, transforming a small tech startup into a global brand. His life seemed perfect from the outside: luxury cars, a penthouse apartment, and invitations to the most exclusive events. But behind the polished exterior was a man who felt a profound emptiness, as if all his accomplishments were hollow without someone genuine to share them with. Everything changed when he met Emily Parker. Unlike the glamorous women who usually surrounded Liam, Emily was different. She was a waitress in a small, cozy diner tucked away in the quieter part of town. With her bright smile and warm, compassionate nature, Emily quickly stood out to Liam. She didn't care about his wealth or status. She treated him like any other customer. That authenticity captivated him. It wasn't long before Liam found himself frequenting the diner, not for the food, but to see her. Emily, with her soft, chestnut-brown hair and sparkling green eyes, was humble, down-to-earth, and full of a quiet resilience. She had faced life's hardships but still radiated a kindness that drew people in. Liam admired her independence, her refusal to take handouts, and her determination to stand on her own 2 feet. Over time, their interactions grew from casual conversations to heartfelt talks about life, dreams, and the future. Liam fell for her hard, and before long, he couldn't imagine his life without her. Despite the differences in their worlds, he knew she was the one. After months of dating, he proposed to her in a private moment, far from the prying eyes of society. Emily said yes, tears of joy in her eyes, but there was something more, a fleeting hesitation that Liam couldn't quite place. The wedding was set to be a grand event, far larger than Emily had ever imagined. Liam wanted to give her everything, a fairy tale day that she deserved. But as the big day approached, Emily seemed distant, almost as if she was carrying a burden too heavy to bear. Liam noticed but chose to brush it aside, assuming it was just pre-wedding nerves. Finally, the day of the wedding arrived. It was a picture-perfect ceremony held at a sprawling estate, with the sun casting a golden glow over the scene. The guest list was filled with high society figures, celebrities, business moguls, and politicians, all eager to witness the marriage of one of the world's most eligible bachelors. Emily, despite her nerves, looked stunning in her simple but elegant dress, which contrasted with the extravagance of the event. As she walked down the aisle, holding her bouquet tightly, she caught glimpses of the crowd, people she didn't know, and felt the weight of her secret pressing down on her chest. The closer she got to Liam, the more determined she became to reveal the truth. She loved him with all her heart, but she couldn't start their life together with this lie hanging over them. The ceremony progressed smoothly, with heartfelt vows exchanged and tears shed by both the bride and groom. But as the officiant reached the moment where he asked if anyone objected to the marriage, Emily's heart raced. She knew this was her moment, the one chance to reveal what she had kept hidden for so long. The room fell silent as everyone waited for the officiant to continue. But before he could, Emily took a deep breath and stepped forward, her voice trembling as she spoke. "Liam," she began, her eyes filled with emotion, "before we say, 'I do,' there's something I need to tell you, something I should have told you from the start." A murmur rippled through the crowd, confusion and curiosity spreading like wildfire. Liam's expression turned from one of pure happiness to concern as he searched her face, wondering what could be so important that she would reveal it now. "I've kept a secret from you," Emily continued, her voice growing stronger. "I didn't tell you everything about who I am, where I come from, because I was afraid of losing you. But I can't go into this marriage without being completely honest." Liam's heart pounded in his chest as he took her hand gently, urging her to continue. "Whatever it is, we'll face it together," he assured her. Tears welled up in Emily's eyes as she squeezed his hand back. "I wasn't always a waitress. In fact, I'm not the person you think I am. I've lived a life that's nothing like the one you've seen. Years ago, I was involved in a world of lies, deceit, and danger." The guests leaned in, their whispers growing louder, and Liam's grip tightened as fear flashed across his eyes. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "I used to be part of something dark," Emily confessed. "I grew up in an environment where survival meant making difficult choices. I was forced into a life I never wanted, a life where I was used by people with bad intentions. I did things I'm not proud of, things I wish I could forget. And I ran away from it all, hoping to start fresh. That's when I became Emily Parker, the waitress you met in that diner." Liam's mind raced, struggling to reconcile the sweet, caring woman he fell in love with and this dark past she was now revealing. He could see the pain in her eyes, the weight of everything she had carried alone for so long. But instead of pulling away, he held her closer. "I don't care where you came from, Emily," he said softly, his voice full of conviction. "We all have pasts, and no one is perfect. What matters is who you are now, the woman who changed my life, who made me believe in love again. We can get through anything as long as we're together." Emily's tears flowed freely now, but they were tears of relief. She had feared this moment for so long, but Liam's acceptance was everything she had hoped for. "There's more," she whispered, taking another deep breath. "I wasn't just running from my past, I was running from someone. And I'm terrified that getting married, becoming part of your world, will bring them back into my life. I didn't want to put you in danger." Liam's eyes softened, and he gently wiped away her tears. "Let them come," he said, his voice strong. "We'll face whatever happens together. You don't have to be afraid anymore, Emily. I'll protect you, no matter what." With those words, the tension in the room dissolved. The guests, who had been holding their breath, now watched in awe as love triumphed over fear. The officiant, moved by the moment, guided them back to their vows. And when they finally said, "I do," it was not just a promise to love each other in the good times, but a vow to stand by one another through whatever shadows might emerge from their pasts. As they kissed, sealing their union, it was clear that this was no ordinary marriage. It was a testament to the power of love, forgiveness, and the courage to confront one's darkest secrets. The reception was filled with laughter, dancing, and joy, but for Liam and Emily, it was more than just a celebration. It was the beginning of a new life, one where they no longer had to hide or fear what lay ahead. Surrounded by those who now saw them as a couple defined not by wealth or status, but by the strength of their bond, they knew that whatever came next, they would face it together. And as they looked into each other's eyes, they both knew one thing for sure. Sometimes the greatest love stories are born not out of perfection, but out of the courage to love despite the imperfections, secrets, and challenges that life brings. Liam and Emily's story was just beginning, and it was destined to be one filled with hope, resilience, and the kind of love that only grows stronger in the face of adversity. The days that followed the wedding were a whirlwind of adjustments and emotions. With the truth now out in the open, Liam and Emily faced a new chapter in their lives, one where honesty and transparency would be their guiding principles. The revelation at the wedding had shocked everyone, but the strength of their love had won over even the most skeptical hearts. Still, beneath the surface, the shadows of Emily's past loomed, waiting for the right moment to resurface. Liam, determined to protect his wife, took immediate steps to understand the full scope of what Emily had been running from. Late at night, after the lights were out and the world was quiet, Emily would open up, recounting stories she had buried deep within herself. She spoke of a ruthless figure from her past, a man named Victor, who had once controlled her life with fear and manipulation. Victor was a powerful criminal who ran an underground syndicate, and Emily had been trapped under his thumb until she managed to escape years ago. 4 years, Emily had been living in anonymity, hoping to stay hidden from Victor's grasp. She never imagined that falling in love and stepping into the public eye as Mrs. Liam Sterling would make her visible again. Liam listened to every detail, his resolve hardening with every word. He was no stranger to challenges, but this was different. This was personal. Protecting Emily wasn't just about love, it was about safeguarding their future. Liam called in favors from contacts he had made over the years, hiring top security experts and private investigators to gather information on Victor and his network. He also began preparing their home, ensuring it was fortified against any potential threats. Emily was touched by his dedication, but she couldn't help feeling guilty. She had wanted a life free from fear, yet here she was, dragging Liam into a dangerous situation. But Liam would hear none of it. "We're in this together, Emily," he would say, his eyes fierce with determination. "You don't have to fight alone anymore." Despite the looming danger, their bond only grew stronger. The love they shared was tested, but instead of weakening, it deepened into something unbreakable. Emily no longer felt the need to hide or keep secrets. For the first time, she felt truly understood, and that brought a sense of peace she hadn't known in years. Weeks passed, and life began to settle into a new normal. The media, initially buzzing with the dramatic wedding reveal, moved on to other stories, and Liam and Emily enjoyed some quiet moments away from the spotlight. But beneath the surface, they both knew it was only a matter of time before Victor made his move. And then, one night, it happened. It started with a phone call. Liam was in his study when the landline rang, a number only a few trusted people had access to. He picked up, expecting to hear from one of his security contacts, but the voice on the other end sent a chill down his spine. "Good evening, Mr. Sterling," a smooth, accented voice said. "I believe you've been expecting me." It was Victor. Liam's grip tightened on the phone. "I've been waiting," he replied coldly. "If you think you can threaten my wife, you're mistaken." Victor's laugh was dark and mocking. "I see why she's fallen for you. Bold, confident, qualities I admire. But you're out of your depth, my friend. Emily belongs to me, and I always collect what's mine." Liam's heart raced, but he kept his voice steady. "She was never yours, Victor. She's free now, and there's nothing you can do to change that." "Free?" Victor schnarred. "You're a fool if you think you can protect her from me. But I'll give you a choice. Hand her over willingly, and I might consider letting you walk away unharmed. Or, if you insist on playing the hero, I'll make sure you both suffer for your arrogance." The threat hung in the air like poison, but Liam wasn't intimidated. "If you come near her, I'll make sure it's the last mistake you ever make." Victor's tone turned icy. "We'll see about that. Enjoy your time together while you can, Mr. Sterling. It won't last." The line went dead, leaving Liam with a sense of urgency and anger boiling within him. He knew this was just the beginning. Victor was a man who wouldn't back down easily, and Liam had to be ready for anything. He immediately called in his security team, doubling the protection around their home. Emily, though frightened, refused to let fear dictate her life. "We can't keep running," she told Liam. "I'm tired of hiding. It's time we stand up to him, once and for all." Liam agreed. They began formulating a plan, one that involved luring Victor out of the shadows and exposing him for the criminal he was. With the help of their security team and a few trusted allies, they set up a trap, one that would force Victor to show his hand. The showdown came on a stormy night. The meeting place was a remote location outside the city, where Victor believed he was coming to reclaim his property. But instead of finding a scared woman ready to surrender, he was met with a trap carefully orchestrated by Liam and Emily. Hidden cameras captured everything, and law enforcement was on standby, ready to move in. When Victor arrived, his arrogance was palpable. He walked in with his entourage, expecting victory, only to find himself cornered. Emily stepped forward, no longer the frightened girl who had once fled from him, but a woman who had found her strength. "This ends here, Victor," she declared, her voice steady. "You don't control me anymore. I'm free, and I'm not afraid of you." Victor's smug smile faltered when he realized he was surrounded. Liam, standing by Emily's side, gave the signal, and within moments, law enforcement moved in, arresting Victor and his men. The evidence against him was overwhelming, and with the cameras rolling, there was no way he could escape justice this time. As Victor was dragged away in handcuffs, he glared at Emily with pure hatred. "This isn't over," he spat. "I'll never stop coming for you." But Emily remained unfazed. "Yes, it is," she said firmly. "You have no power over me anymore." With Victor finally out of their lives, Liam and Emily could breathe a sigh of relief. The ordeal had tested their love in ways they never expected, but it had also proven that together they were unstoppable. They returned home, not just as husband and wife, but as partners who had faced down the darkness and emerged stronger than ever. From that day on, they vowed to live their lives to the fullest, free from fear and filled with hope. They continued to build their future, knowing that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them side by side. Their love, forged in the fires of adversity, was unbreakable, a testament to the power of truth, courage, and unwavering loyalty. Liam and Emily's story became one of inspiration, a reminder that love can conquer even the darkest of pasts, and that true happiness comes not from perfection, but from the courage to fight for it against all odds. With Victor behind bars and the shadows of the past finally lifted, Liam and Emily began the process of healing and rebuilding their lives. The days that followed the showdown were a mix of quiet reflection and renewed hope. There was a sense of freedom that neither of them had fully experienced before. Emily no longer needed to look over her shoulder, and Liam could finally relax, knowing the woman he loved was truly safe. Their bond grew even deeper as they embraced the simple joys that came with living a life free from fear. They traveled, explored new places, and spent time focusing on each other without the weight of secrets or threats hanging over them. For the first time, they allowed themselves to dream about the future without reservation, discussing plans for expanding their family, growing Liam's business ventures, and continuing to support causes that mattered to them both. But the most profound change was in Emily. No longer burdened by the guilt and shame of her past, she emerged stronger and more confident than ever. She pursued her passions, taking up art, volunteering, and even speaking out about her experiences to help others who had faced similar hardships. Her journey from a young woman trapped by fear to a fearless advocate for others became a story of empowerment, and she found fulfillment in knowing that she could use her past to inspire others to reclaim their lives. Liam, who had always thrived in the world of high-stakes business, discovered a new sense of purpose as well. He shifted his focus from simply expanding his empire to using his influence and resources to create positive change. The challenges they had faced together had taught him that true success wasn't just about accumulating wealth, but about making a difference in the lives of those around him. He and Emily began funding initiatives that supported survivors of trafficking and abuse, ensuring that those who felt powerless would have the support they needed to rebuild their lives. Their marriage was filled with a profound sense of partnership. They had faced darkness together and come out the other side stronger, and that bond was unshakable. The trust between them was absolute, and they cherished the stability and joy they had worked so hard to achieve. Every day felt like a gift, a fresh start untainted by fear or uncertainty. In time, Emily and Liam's love story became something of a legend, not just in the circles of high society but in communities that looked up to them as symbols of resilience and hope. They were proof that love could endure anything: secrets, danger, and the ghosts of the past, so long as there was honesty, trust, and a willingness to fight for one another. As they stood together on the balcony of their home one evening, watching the sun dip below the horizon, Emily leaned her head against Liam's shoulder, a contented smile on her face. "We've come a long way, haven't we?" she said softly. Liam kissed her hair gently. "We have. And I wouldn't change a single thing. Every challenge, every hurdle, it all led us here." Emily nodded, her heart full. "I'm just grateful we get to live this life, together, with nothing to hide and nothing to fear." Liam smiled and held her closer, the warmth of their shared love wrapping around them like a blanket. "This is just the beginning, Emily. There's so much more ahead for us. More adventures, more memories, more love. Whatever comes next, I know we'll face it together." And with that, they embraced the future with open hearts, knowing that they had already overcome the toughest battles. The road ahead was theirs to shape, free from the shadows of the past and full of the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Their journey was far from over, but it was one they would walk hand in hand, united by a love that had proven itself time and again, through secrets, through danger, and ultimately, through the power of unwavering commitment. As the years passed, Liam and Emily built a life full of love, joy, and purpose. Their bond, once tested by the shadows of the past, became an unbreakable foundation that carried them through life's ups and downs. They welcomed 2 beautiful children into the world, a boy and a girl, who became the center of their universe. The couple found immense joy in raising their children with the values they held dear: kindness, resilience, and the courage to be true to themselves. Emily continued her advocacy work, using her own story to inspire others. She became a voice for those who felt silenced, offering hope to people trapped in situations like the one she had escaped. Her story resonated far and wide, proving that no matter where you start, or what you've been through, redemption and happiness are always possible. Liam, ever the visionary, grew his business empire, but with a new focus on philanthropy and social impact. The Sterlings became known not just for their wealth, but for their generosity and dedication to helping others. Together, they launched initiatives that transformed lives, building schools, funding shelters, and supporting organizations that fought against the very forces that had once threatened to tear them apart. Their marriage was a shining example of partnership built on trust and unconditional love. The small things became the most cherished: family dinners, quiet evenings by the fireplace, and laughter shared on spontaneous adventures. They never forgot the trials they had endured, but they viewed those challenges as the foundation of the extraordinary love they now enjoyed. One evening, as they sat on the porch of their countryside home, watching their children play in the golden glow of the setting sun, Liam turned to Emily with a smile that still made her heart flutter after all those years. "We've built something beautiful, haven't we?" he said, his voice filled with warmth. Emily nodded, her eyes shimmering with happy tears. "More beautiful than I ever dreamed. And it's all because we faced everything together. Fear, danger, even our own doubts. We never gave up on each other." Liam took her hand, their fingers intertwining effortlessly. "I've learned that true love isn't just about the perfect moments. It's about the strength to get through the imperfect ones. We've had our fair share of battles, but every one of them brought us here, to this life, to this family, to this happiness." As they sat there, surrounded by the simple yet profound peace they had earned, they knew they had achieved more than they ever could have imagined. The once young millionaire and the waitress with a secret had become a testament to the idea that love, when nurtured with trust and honesty, could overcome any obstacle. Their story, once marked by secrets and uncertainty, now stood as a powerful reminder that the strongest bonds are those forged through adversity. They were proof that true love isn't defined by wealth, status, or even the absence of fear, but by the willingness to face life's challenges hand in hand, with courage, resilience, and unwavering commitment. And as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky above them, Liam and Emily exchanged a look that needed no words, just the silent promise that whatever life brought next, they would embrace it together, just as they always had. Their love story, rich with adventure, redemption, and joy, was far from over, but they knew that no matter what lay ahead, they had already found their greatest treasure in each other. In the end, it was clear, theirs was not just a love that survived, it was a love that truly thrived, growing deeper and stronger with every chapter they wrote together. And that, above all, was the happiest ending they could have ever imagined. If this story moved you, make sure to share it with someone who could use a reminder that love can conquer any obstacle, no matter how big or small. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more stories that inspire, uplift, and show the power of resilience and true love. Join our community and let's keep spreading positivity and hope, one story at a time. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to share more heartwarming tales with you soon.